The first official proper poll for the Makerfield by-election has dropped just this evening. I've just got back and seen it. I wanted to do a video straight away to react to it for you guys. Hit a like on the video if you just come to see this reaction. Get in the comments with your thoughts, as always. Big moment in this election. The first proper poll that's coming out from a pollster. It's from Survation, as you can see down the bottom there, via the Times, I believe. And look, I mean, to be honest with you, I think this probably just confirms what a lot of us were expecting. Certainly what I was expecting. I said this is going to be a two-horse race. That is the case between Labour and Reform. Restore there on 7% of the vote. Look, in third position. We will talk about Restore in this video quite a lot, of course. And the Greens down on third. I didn't think the Greens would do much. Look, it's possible the Greens don't even stand a candidate here at the moment. Their candidate has, in the 24 hours of being selected, withdrew from the race, and they're currently without a candidate as far as I'm aware. So the Greens may not even stand, which might help Labour even more, potentially. But look, I think the main story is those top two, isn't it? 43% for Labour and Reform on 40%. Like I said, this is what I expected. And by the way, I'm just, like I said, I just got back and I've just seen this, so I'm reacting sort of on the hop. So this will be a bit rambly, well, more rambly than usual anyway. It's between these two, right? Labour and Reform. It's a two-horse race between Andy Burnham and Robert Kenyon for Reform. Everybody else is going to be a sideshow, and in particular, Restore. Now, like I said, there's been a lot of talk online, people saying, oh, Restore shouldn't stand, yada, yada, yada. And same for the Conservatives, actually. I don't agree with that, actually. I don't agree with that. I think people who... political parties should stand wherever. Like, I don't think there should be all this horse trading and stuff. I know there's a tactical element to it. I know that, but look, in the end of the day, particularly when it comes to Reform and the Tories, they're not friends. Reform's stated objective is to destroy the Conservative Party. So the Conservatives aren't going to stand out of their way, are they? And the same is for Restore with Reform. Restore want to destroy Reform. It's like a human centipede of political parties trying to eat each other. Yeah. So Restore aren't going to stand out Reform's way either, are they? And look, Reform didn't get out the Tories' way in 2024, so they can't expect the same sort of treatment back. So I don't agree with those arguments at all, and you just got to deal with it, frankly. Is it fair to say that 7% would vote for Reform if Restore went on the ballot? That's the question, isn't it? And I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Look, I think most people who are voting for for Restore, most of those people have come from Reform, or from voting Reform, or from considering to vote for Reform, and they weren't happy with the offering for whatever reason, whether that's a legitimate reason or not. They're not happy with Reform, and they would rather vote for Restore. It's the same as saying, or the argument 2 years ago, in 2024, well, if Reform hadn't stood, the Conservatives would have won the election. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people who voted for Reform in 2024 in the general election, they wouldn't have voted for the Conservatives if there was no Reform on the ballot paper. They probably just wouldn't have voted, or they would have supported their ballot paper. So this idea that, you know, you can just transfer one party's vote to another is not accurate. I mean, I do it sometimes, but I did it in the Scotland preview video before the election, but it doesn't really work that way. And certainly not with these parties that have quite a lot of animosity towards each other. But this is the issue on the right. The right is not united at the moment. And Reform obviously are the clear leaders. They are in this poll, and they are in the nation, but they don't have a clear enough lead at the moment. And look, what we're seeing here is the Burnham effect in action with Labour on 43%. We saw the Nowcast the other day when we did a video on this last Friday, which showed that Labour without Burnham, just based off the Nowcast, they're a good 20 points behind Reform, about 25%, Reform on 45%. So this is the Burnham bounce. Now, one thing to note on this, by the way, is it's a 369 sample, which is not large, so bear that in mind, but it is from a proper pollster. So Labour, with a 3% lead at the moment, or 3-point lead, based on this poll, it's there for Reform. Reform can win this. And let's just bear in mind, this is an opinion poll in the end of the day. It's a very, very good case to make that this Burnham bounce, whatever you want to call it, might not work quite this way in the actual election. It might not be that large. I do think it will exist. Will it be worth 20 points? That's the question. Because if it's worth 15, that won't be enough for Labour. And why won't it? Well, let's just go back to our charts from the local elections the other week. Bryn with Ashton and Makerfield North, Wigan Council Reform here got over 50% of the vote. Labour trailing them, and you know there is, like we said, 24% of the Nowcast for Labour, and that's what they got in this ward that's in Makerfield. Reform obviously won that seat quite very comfortably. And again, in Ashton and Makerfield South, the neighbouring ward, Reform again, not quite as high a vote share here, but almost 50%, and Labour trailing them by a good 12-14%. So that's the gap they have to make up. That's the gap that Burnham has to make up. And a very good point that I heard made by David Starkey, actually, on his channel. I beg your pardon, it was by Mark Littlewood on David Starkey's channel, saying, I think the difference with this election is that up to now, Labour voters could vote for Reform to give Starmer a kicking. Well, now Labour voters can vote for Burnham to give Starmer a kicking, because look, if Burnham wins this election, if Labour wins this by-election, Andy Burnham will become the Prime Minister. That's almost certain, I think. So really, the local election tagline was vote Reform, get Starmer out. It's now become vote Burnham to get Starmer out, really. If Reform win this election, I think Starmer stays. I was quite shocked. I should have got the poll up for this video. I've forgotten, but there was a poll came out a few days ago that showed that actually Starmer's second with Labour members in terms of favourability on being a leader of the Labour Party with Labour members. Burnham's top, Starmer's second, and the rest are way behind. Streeting, Rayner, Miliband, they're all way, way, way behind. So if Burnham doesn't win this, I think there's a chance somehow that Starmer stays on. But whether or not that actually happens, I don't know. Look, Starmer's authority is shot to bits at this stage. He is very much in office, but not in power. So whether that happens or not, that's a hypothetical at this stage. But here's the poll anyway. So Labour at the moment with a very, very small, slender lead over Reform. Only 3 points in it. It's neck and neck. It is going to be a two-horse race. Restore, I'm sorry. I know people who like Restore on this, who watch this channel. Thank you for watching the video. But I've got to say, Restore did not have a high hope in hell of winning this election. It's not going to happen. Look, getting 7% in this by-election would be very good for you. You'd keep your deposit. You'd be one of only three parties to keep your deposit. If this result were to be the actual results, and that's nothing to. You should be proud of that. That is a genuinely very good result for you. I think if you're expecting more than that, you are essentially being lied to by people online. This is what I would expect to see. If Restore can get up to double figures, that would be a phenomenal result. But I think just getting above 5% and keeping the deposit would be a very good result for Restore, based on the fact it's a very new party. So this would not be a bad result for you. So if you are a Restore supporter, don't be disappointed by the fact you're not in the lead. I'm afraid that was never going to be the case. And look, it's a foundation for you, isn't it? Bear in mind, you haven't, outside of Great Yarmouth, you've not stood in any other elections yet. This is only your second election standing, really, and you're going for Parliament. So look, you're a very new party. You've got a long way to go. In this case, Reform are going to miss out by 3 points. What does that do for them? Well, it will be... I mean, it's difficult to say. I think in many ways, Reform are the favourites going into this, based off the fact that they just won in Wigan by such a large margin the other day. But they are going up against a seasoned politician who's been in government. He knows how it all works, and he is from the area. He is the mayor and all that. So well, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Are Reform the favourites going into this, or is Labour the favourite because they've got Burnham standing? If Burnham wasn't standing, I think Reform would win this comfortably. Obviously, if Burnham wasn't standing, there wouldn't be a by-election, but that's besides the point. Burnham is the factor that's putting Labour at the top of the chart here, but it is winnable for Reform. Look, there's still 4 weeks to go, 3 weeks to go. Just under 4 weeks, isn't it? It's the 18th of June, so there's a long way to go yet. A lot can change. Maybe Restore do push on and get double figures, and that would probably mean that Labour have a higher lead. Or can Reform convince, after this poll, some of those Restore voters to vote for them to keep Labour out? That's going to be the question. As always, guys, do get in the comments with all of your thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think. Leave a like on the video. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you on Friday for a by-election video. I forgot to do the preview. It's in Swansea, the next by-election. There's only one next week. One by-election in Swansea, which should be interesting to see. So make sure you're tuned in for that on Friday. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then.